Just in case y'all don't know, you can still get rejected after being accepted. The amount of people that did not have the best grades but still got into their dream school because of, just a little tip from me to you, okay? If you're an athlete and you want to play a sport in college, you need to do this. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Peace and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, hey, hello. On this channel, I make videos to help high school seniors thrive their senior year of high school so they can easily transition to college and then thrive there too. And of course, I have a few college vlogs there too. So if you want to be a part of the family, be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, and join the fam. So, as you guys can tell by the title, this is the video you wish you saw 3 months ago, and I'm sorry I didn't put it out 3 months ago. Your girl was busy, a little bit busy. This is the video that's gonna explain every single thing there is to know about the college application process. So this video is gonna be kind of lengthy because I'm gonna go very in detail with it. So I'm gonna have timestamps. So the terms in this video is also gonna be listed in alphabetical order. I repeat, not only will I tell you everything there is to know about the college application season, I'm gonna make it easy for y'all because I'm gonna list in alphabetical order, and there are timestamps down below where you can go and skip around if you want to. I recommend you don't because you're gonna miss something, I can promise you that. But if you want to, it's there. That's the kind of girl I am. So just for that, be sure to give me a like because it was a lot of work, a lot of effort. Liking and commenting if this video helps really helps and boosts this out to more people. It's just YouTube algorithm, y'all. With college applications, there's so many terms floating around, but no one is defining them. Terms like subsidized versus unsubsidized loans, early action, early decision, regular decision, enrollment admissions, all these terms, but there's no one actually here with a guide with a video to explain it all. So I'm gonna make the video. Welcome to college applications made easy. Welcome to the ultimate guide to applying to college. Welcome to the video I wish I saw my senior year. Send with a friend, to send to your parents, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get started. First term we're going to define is accepted. Now I know y'all probably know what this term means, but I'm going to define it regardless because I'm also going to later define the terms deferred, denied, and waitlisted, and I can't do all those three without defining accepted as well. You know, accepted in the term of college application means that the college looked through your application or your statistics and all that good stuff. They said, wow, I really like this person. I really like her, him, they, whatever you identify as, and I want them to be a part of my school. And that's what you're gonna get though. You've been accepted email. But yeah, y'all, let's go to number 2. Number 2 is ACT. Yes, that is ACT, not ACT, because I've heard I've heard that one too. I'm like, maybe not that. But yes, ACT is a standardized test. There are two kinds, ACT and there's also the SAT, which I will later define when we get to the S's. So ACT stands for the American College Testing. This is a standardized test that tests you on 4 sections. First one is English. There's also math, science, and reading. They take the average of those 4 sections and give you a composite score. That composite score is out of 36 points. There's also a writing section that is optional, but if you were to do it, that's also an additional 12 points. So I did not take the ACT, I took the SAT, but I heard that the SAT has more direct questions, while the SAT is like, I don't want to say dancing around the issue, but you kind of have to do more work to understand what they're asking you for. So because I don't take the ACT, I can't really comment on that. But I can agree that sometimes the SAT be asking, the question that they're asking, they're not really asking for the straightforward answer. They want a deeper one. So I guess I could kind of agree with that statement. Term number 3, AP, which also stands for Advanced Placement. I'm sure you've heard the term AP Psychology, AP Biology, AP Computer Science. Y'all, APs are they're so stressful, they're a lot, and I feel like during the college app process, some people don't know what they are precisely, so let me define it. AP stands for Advanced Placement, like I said, and it's essentially when a high school student can take college level classes, but it will be a part of their high school curriculum. I hope that makes sense. So, for example, in college you have to take biology or something. In high school, you can take the class called AP Biology. AP programs are under the College Board, which I will later define when we get to the C's, but this class is are 9 months, so basically the length of an entire school year. And at the end of the class, around April, you're gonna take the test, the AP test, which is so stressful, and it's gonna test you on what you learned the entire year. To pass, you need a 3. If you get a 3, a 4, or a 5, that is really what like colleges are looking for. Sometimes most of them are looking for 4s and 5s, and a few of them are only looking for 5s, which is so stressful because those are hard to get. I took 8 AP classes, and my school, which is Howard by the way, only took 2 of them. All this to say, I recommend taking 1 or 2 AP classes and then taking a lot more community college classes, which I will define in a second. But I'm probably gonna make a whole video about this because more high school students need to know about this instead of being force-fed AP, and then they spend 4 years taking those AP classes only for it not to count, only for it not to transfer. It doesn't make sense. Y'all feel me? Good. Next one, number 4. Let's talk about aid package / financial aid package. An aid package is essentially the amount of money a college is willing to give to you for you to come to their school. You're most likely going to get this after you've been accepted to your school, and this aid package includes scholarships, grants, loans, and work study. And don't worry, all 4 of these terms I just listed right now, I will later define them later in this video. Next one, CEEB code. This is also called the school code. So CEEB stands for College Entrance Examination Board. So this is a 6-digit number, and this 6-digit belongs to the high school or college that you're going to. Every school has a distinct, unique CEEB code, and essentially this helps you when you are trying to send your SAT and ACT scores to said school. Number 6, class rank. Class rank essentially is where you stand academically compared to other students in your class. For example, in high school, I was class of 2019, and I was in the top 5% of my class. There was like 236 people. I was like, I don't know, 5, 7? I'm not entirely sure, but I was pretty high up there, and this looks good in your application because they're seeing, okay, this person's top of her class. Oh, she's doing this. Oh, he's doing that. Oh, they're doing this. It looked good. So the higher your class rank is, the better. Now you may be asking, Peace, how do I increase my class rank to make me more competitive to schools? Great question. Before I actually answer that question, let me tell you more about the class rank. So you don't have to be top 5 to be really, really good. If you're top 20%, top 10%, top 5, that is fantastic. And of course, if you're salutatorian, valedictorian, that's even better. But top 20 and higher, you're doing pretty good. And I talked more about this in my How I Got Into Howard video. You can definitely check it out. Even if you're not going to Howard, you can just go see it to see my stats and stuff. So basically, your class rank is mostly highly based on your QPA. Now, what's the QPA? Basically, it's the classes you're taking but weighted. So it's based on the hardness, the difficulty of the classes that you're currently taking. Someone taking standard classes scaled differently versus someone taking AP classes. To get an A in a standard class is easier to get an A in an AP or honors class. This is based on points. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember precisely, but I believe that AP classes are worth 5 points, 4 or 5, while standard classes are worth lower. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll put it down here. Let me know if you guys want a more detailed QPA video to explain it more. I don't want to do too much in this video because this video is going to be long as it is. So to boost your QPA, you want to take harder classes and you want to do well in them too. I repeat, take harder classes and do well with them, because that shows the colleges that OMG, Peace is taking this hard class and she's getting A's in them. Oh my word, OMG, let me pay more attention to her. Wow, she's really doing the damn thing. Precisely. AP classes and community college classes are scaled the same way, which is why I recommend you take more community college classes, because I have friends who took a lot of community college classes, and because it's scaled more, their class rank was higher. And by the way, you guys don't know, valedictorian and salutatorian is based on class rank. So you take more community college classes that transfer easier, a few more AP classes, you can rank higher in your class and get closer and closer and closer and closer to that salutatorian and valedictorian role, position, achievement. Number 7, College Board. Yo, I promise you, you are going to need to know what College Board is, okay? Because I don't want to say they're a monopoly, but they're kind of sort of like a monopoly. But I didn't say this, okay? This is a consensus. But before you guys be like, Peace, don't call them a monopoly. It's the truth. Why? Let's define what a monopoly is so y'all don't think I'm tripping. So a monopoly is essentially like when there's a single seller in a field and there's no competition. And College Board, they're essentially the only ones that handle the PSAT, SAT, and ACT. There's no other competition. There's no other organization that does like them. So kind of look at monopoly. But yes, y'all, if you guys can't tell already, College Board, they're the ones that handle and administer SAT, PSAT, and ACT, and of course the SAT subject test, which all these terms I'll define later on. So their goal is to promote college readiness like they have on their website. So College Board essentially controls your junior and your senior year. Keep that in mind so you don't cheat or get them angry or anything, because I'm sure they can make your life a living hell. And I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. So don't do it. Yeah. Number 8, College Decision Day. Y'all, this is normally May 1st. This is the day when everyone pops out. Y'all, give me a second. So this is the day when everyone pops out with their OMG, I'm going to Howard. OMG, I'm going to FAMU. OMG, I'm going to University of Maryland. OMG, I'm going to this. Officially Bison. That's the day. That's the day when when the whole feed is filled with college decisions and when everyone tells where they're going. I absolutely love that day. I'm like, OMG, look at them. They're growing up so fast. But yes, that is College Decision Day. This is normally May 1st. But like, May 1st is not the only day to decide or announce where you're going. Some people that got into the dream schools, literally by December, they're like, officially a Bison, officially a this, officially a this. So like, May 1st is not the only day. It's just the nationally recognized day. Let's say that. So people say their announcements before May 1st. Some people say it after May 1st if they were on the waitlist or something like that, which I'll later define in a second. Y'all, I promise, do not skip this video, any portion of it. Number 9, the Common Black College Application. This is also called the Black Common App, HBCU Common App. This is essentially a college application just like the normal Common App, but specifically made for students who want to go to HBCUs. HBCUs are historically black college or universities. And it's created to aid lower income families by helping them get into college. This application allows students to apply to half the nation's HBCUs with just one application. I repeat for the people in the back. This application allows students to apply to half the nation's HBCUs with just one application. So the link to apply to the Black Common App is commonblackcollegeapp.com. So be sure to go to the link, be sure to research it, do your research, and get applying. Alright, number 10, the Common College Application, also known as the Common App. The Common App is the app that you will use to apply to every single one of the colleges that you want to apply to, college or university. So for the Common App, sometimes there's a section of the Common App where you can fill out the same information. It's going to be used for all your schools, like, you know, your name, parents' name, their income, stuff like that. Basic information is going to be used for all schools, but certain schools ask for extra essays, extra stuff. So keep that in mind for the Common App. Number 11, cost of attendance, also known as COA. Essentially, just like the name says, it's essentially how much it's going to cost for you to attend said school. For example, a lot of Howard students know that it costs $48K to go to Howard. Yes, that's an arm and a leg. Yes, my pockets are crying. Do y'all hear that? Yeah, that's my pockets crying. But yeah, that's how much it costs me to go to the school. So this amount is not only tuition. Please do not get it twisted. It is not only tuition. So when you're applying to schools and getting back to them, when they say cost of attendance, that's everything, okay? Tuition, they say, oh, tuition is only 5K, 10K. Okay, but what's the total cost of attendance? Because they include things, sneaky little things, like tuition, room and board. That's books, supplies, transportation, how much it's going to cost for you to go from your house to wherever your school is. And that's not including every other unnecessary small bill that colleges like to add just for fun, just because it can. Like, let's talk. What exactly is the technology fee? You're charging me to use technology? My laptop that I already provide? You're charging me for Wi-Fi? Let's talk about it. Welcome to my TED Talk, y'all. Number 12, CSS Profile. CSS stands for College Scholarship Service program. So this is a form that you're asked to fill for financial aid. It's kind of sort of like the FAFSA, but this is an online application made by the College Board. Y'all see why I defined them earlier? And it basically allows students to apply for non-federal aid. FAFSA is for federal aid. The CSS Profile is non-federal aid. Number 13, deferral. Now you've probably heard this before, or maybe you will. I hope you don't, but maybe you will. A deferral is kind of sort of in between an acceptance and denied. So essentially, if you defer from a school, that means they looked at your application, but they need more time to decide what they want to do with you, whether or not they want to accept or deny you. So most time for you to get deferred, you have to apply early action or early decision. Then they're going to defer you, push you back to the regular decision time frame, which I'll also define all these terms in a second, y'all. Early action, decision, all that. I'll define it later on. But when you're deferred, that means they're pushing you to the later time because they need more time to determine and look through your application to see, do we want her? Do we want him? Do we want them? So instead of hearing back mid-December like you would for early action, early decision, you're gonna hear back in March with the rest of the regular decision people. Also keep in mind, if you were early decision and you're deferred to a regular decision, that is no longer a binding contract. You are now a regular decision and it's no longer a binding contract. I know I said a lot of terms that is probably confusing, but I promise you, if you watch this entire video, it will make sense. I'm going to define all of this early blank, 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 blank when we get to the E's. Right now, we are on the D's, okay? We're almost there. I also have a video coming out on what to do if you're deferred and how to go from deferred to accepted. So be sure to subscribe for that video because it's going to be coming out soon. All right, next one, denied. Now, this is sad, but this also happens, so let's not deny it. That was good, y'all. But corniness aside, let's actually define what denied means. To be denied means that a college looked through your application and right now they don't think that you're a best fit for their organization, for their school. Oh, I looked through all this. I'm not feeling it. Denied. I know it's sad, but don't be discouraged because that's their loss. They don't see your greatness, but somebody else will. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm not calling you trash. I'm just, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm saying that this school doesn't recognize the greatness that you are, but this other school will. Okay? If y'all are feeling me so far, be sure to like this video. Be sure to comment, subscribe, all that good stuff because your girl got more stuff to go. We are only on the D's, about to enter the E's. All right, so the last D for the day, dual enrollment. Y'all. So dual enrollment is also called community college classes. This is essentially when you're dual enrolled in two different things. You're enrolled in high school, but you're also enrolled in community college to take some classes. I recommend a dual enrollment. I recommend community college classes because they're so much easier than AP classes and they take shorter amount of time. An AP class is August to May. Dual enrollment class is per semester, like a college class. So it's August to December or November and then January to May. In the span of you taking one AP class, you would have taken two dual enrollment classes, twice as much energy, twice as much fun, and twice as much things to push you and increase your class rank and QPA. Y'all feeling me? If you are, like that video. Subscribe for more because your girl got more videos on the way. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my scholarship video because if you like this video, you're definitely going to like the other one. Plus, for community college classes, you only need a C to pass. And if you get a C, they will accept it regardless. But for AP class, like I said, you need a 3 to pass. But most times, they don't accept 3s, which is why I'm here with AP classes. I got like 3s on 2 or 3 of them. They weren't accepted. But if I taken community college classes instead and got a C on that, they would have taken it. So don't make the same mistake I did, y'all. The con for community college classes, I don't want to tell y'all the good stuff and leave out the bad stuff. I'm a realist, y'all. So the con is because they're easier to pass, sometimes they're not seen as seriously as AP classes. Sometimes it's harder to transfer to the school that you're going to. That is not always the case because all mine's transferred, but sometimes it's harder. So the in-between of that is to take 1 or 2 AP classes and take more community college classes. That's what I'm making my little sister do right now. She's a junior in high school. Right now, I believe she's on her 4th community college class that she's currently taking. I think she's taking AP Calc, I believe. That's her first AP class, but she already has community college classes. So y'all see, she's already a semester ahead when she gets into college. Come on. I'm a great big sister. I'm your big sister too, so be sure to subscribe and join the family. As family, we have family meetings. That's what we do every week on this channel. Subscribe. We are flying through this. OMG. Let's go to number 16. Early action. So essentially, early action is when a high school senior or whatever age or year you want to apply, when they apply, I believe the applications open August 1st. Most times they apply and they turn in the application by November 1st or November 15th. And by doing so, by turning in November, you get a response by January. Sometimes some people release it by December. This is non-binding. Keep that in mind as we get to the other ones. Early action is non-binding. You have to decide by May 1st, which is the, college decision day, like I defined earlier. So let's talk about the pros and cons. We're going to go through the pro and cons of early action, early decision, and regular decision as well. The pro, it's non-binding, which means that you can apply to as many schools as you want to, and if you want to change your mind, you can. For example, if you apply to Howard early action, it's not binding. You can still apply to other schools because it's non-binding. Okay, so the cons for this, because it's early action, you're applying early, so your application is due sooner. Your application is probably due November 1st or November 15th based on the school, but of course you can get your response faster, so it's like Another con is that when people get accepted early, halfway through their senior year, they're like, OMG, I got into my dream college, now I can relax. No, because if you relax too much and you start failing your classes, your offer can get rescinded. And be wondering, what does rescinded mean? I'm going to define that later on in the R section. Number 17, early decision. So this is just like early action. The high school senior applies by November 1st or November 15th, whatever school it is. But, the biggest thing about early decision is that it is binding. Remember how I said early action is non-binding? Early decision is. What exactly is early decision, you may ask? Great question. This is when you are applying to your first choice. You're like, I really want to go to this school. I don't care if you guys give me $10,000 or $0. This is my dream school. I want to go here. This is my first choice. Early decision. Now, you don't have to do all that for your first choice, but some people really want to go to that school that they do. So by doing your first choice, this is a contract. It states that if you get accepted to this school, you have to go. When you're accepted to that school, you have to withdraw from every other school that you're a part of, another school that you're applying to, because you're accepted to your first choice. Why are you engaging? Why are you looking at other applications? You know what I mean? Like, you want to go to the school, remove other schools from the race, and you have to do that by law. It's a legal contract. So I don't have a lot of experience with early decision because I didn't do it. Even the schools that I really want to go to, I still applied to them early action because a binding contract. Your girl was scared. But a lot of people do early decision, but I just didn't. Especially since I didn't really have a dream school, so I really didn't know what I was feeling, so if you have a dream school, you can do that. Like I said, you cannot break the contract. If you try to, it's going to be really hard. And I feel like if they allow you to, you have to pay a fine. And most times the fine is almost the cost of 1 year's attendance of that school. So let's say Howard is $48K, you did early decision, you don't want to go anymore, and they're gonna fine you essentially, most likely, I'm not sure, don't take me by my word now, but most schools will fine you the cost of 1 year's attendance. So they'll fine you $48K, and it's like, you might as well have went to the school because you're paying the same amount of money. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying Howard does this, that exact amount. I'm just giving y'all examples, y'all. Y'all don't be taking me so seriously sometimes. Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons of early decision. Pro, it shows that you're really committed to going to the school and they can like that you're really serious. By you turning in earlier, you get a faster response. So if you're rejected, you can still have time to apply to other schools during regular decision. A con, this is a binding contract, and this is only a con if you plan to get out of said binding contract. Okay. So another con is the application is due sooner, so you don't have as much time to work on it. But of course, a pro is that you get the response faster, so it's like you know? So the biggest con of early decision is the fact that literally you have to accept it as soon as it comes in. So you really don't have the chance to compare financial aid packages from that school versus other school, because you have to accept it like immediately. The school you go to is really entirely based on the amount of money that they give you. But like I said, do more research to know more. Number 18, EFC. EFC stands for Expected Family Contribution. Based on the FAFSA information you filled out, it's saying that, oh, it seems like your family is equipped to provide blank amount of money. So most times there's like a 0 in front of the number, and just ignore the 0, and that's the amount of money. 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, the amount of money that they see based on your FAFSA that you filled out, that, oh, your family can provide this much for your education. The lower your EFC is, the better, because if they see, oh, your family can only provide $500, like, oh, well, this person really can't afford it, let's give her more money. Now, I'm not saying for you to lie on your application. I'm not saying that, because FAFSA has a tool where they pull it from IRS, so you really can't lie, but I'm just saying the lower it is, the better. Number 19, extracurriculars. You also see this as EC. Extracurriculars are things you do outside of school, things you do outside the curriculum. Curriculum. Yeah. So these are things that you do outside of school that you like doing, but also because it boosts your application. It makes you seem like a well-rounded student. Someone who's a straight A student seems boring compared to someone who's an A and B student, but that person has a lot of more stuff on their plate. They have a sport, they have a job, they have a church choir, they have this, they have that. Yo, when I tell you guys, the amount of people that did not have the best grades but still got into their dream school because of their extracurriculars, y'all do not sleep on your extracurriculars, okay? Do not sleep on them. I may be asking, okay, what exactly are some extracurriculars that I can conclude? Great question. Number 1, your job. If you have a job or volunteering or a service or something, do that. Add that to your resume. Any sports that you have, positions, clubs that you're a part of, clubs that you have leadership roles in. If you tutor kids at your old elementary school, your old middle school, or even your high school, put that on there. If you did the library summer reading program, put that on there. Any achievements that you won, like for example, my sophomore junior year, I was in this part of the school, Skills USA, and I won gold medalist for Maryland. I later went to nationals in Kentucky, and I won 6th place. All this stuff sounded fantastic. So what did I do? I included that on my resume. I included that in my extracurriculars, and you should too. You may think, oh, well, that's not really special. Oh, wow, I don't really know. Like, sis, bro, include it, because I'm sure somebody else didn't have the opportunity to do it. I'm sure somebody else didn't know that existed. It makes you unique. It makes you stand out. It looks good. Put it on there. Don't play. Also, extracurriculars can be in and out of school, so don't feel like you're limited to just school activities. Do outside of school as well. And be sure to include all your extracurriculars on your resume, which I will later define soon. Number 20, we are flying through this. I think we have like 47, so we are flying through it. Number 20, FAFSA. Y'all probably heard what this is. You're gonna have to fill it out soon. Let me tell you guys what it's all about. FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Now, you may ask, what exactly is that? This is where you put in your and your family's financial information that basically tells the colleges what you have going on and how, if maybe you can afford the school. This is a free application that determines your eligibility for scholarships, for grants, for work study, things like that. So before they're able to offer you money, oh, let me offer you 30K, 40K, 20K to go to this school or whatever, they have to see whether or not you can afford it. But they have to see what you have working with so far. Because if you have 50K, you don't really need more money because you got it going on, you know? But for someone who only has 10K, 5K, they say that person needs more money to go to school, so they'll give it to you. So basically, FAFSA gives them an inside look at your financials, at your parents' financials, to determine how much money they can give you, how much money you need, really. A lot of people don't know this, but you don't fill it out one time. Don't think you fill it out your senior year or your freshman year and that's it. You fill it out every single year you're in college. Like literally today is what, October 24th? I filled out one just the other day with my dad. You have to fill it out every single year because it's based on the amount of money that you and your parents make every year based on your IRS and the tax, income, stuff like that. That changes every single year. So of course you need to fill it out every single year. It opens October 1st. Most times it's due like, I want to say April or May or something, or maybe even June. I think it's June 30th or something. But Howard likes to get it done by November 1st. That's their deadline. I recommend you do it the earlier, because the earlier the better. Because the earlier you do it, the more money you're willing to get. Think of the FAFSA like a huge fund. They have $100 million. I'm just giving y'all examples now. They have $100 million left to give. The earlier you come, the more money you're willing to get. Because they give this person 50K, 40K. If you come the last day, they really don't have that much money left. Their fund is basically depleted. So the earlier you come and get said money and fill out the application, fill out your FAFSA, the better. Just a little tip from me to you, okay? Number 21, FERPA. Oh, Lord! FERPA stands for the Federal Education Release Privacy Act. This is essentially a federal law that was enacted in like the 1970s that maintains the privacy of a student's records. Colleges have a lot of stuff about you and your family members, and FERPA gives you as the student the power to decide who actually knows the information enclosed in my file. Essentially, as a student, you have the power to decide what information about me can be seen, who can see it, and for how long can they see it. There are like 5 rights that I don't know off the top of my head, so y'all can go research it if you want to. So from me to you, as a student, you legally don't have to give your parents said right to your information. Now, your parents that are watching this, don't hate me. I'm just a messenger, okay? I'm just giving y'all information. But yeah, students, you don't have to legally give your parents access to said information about you. I recommend you do for at least your freshman year, just in case anything were to happen. But after that, you technically don't have to, you know? So it's up to you. You decide whatever you want to do. All right, so number 22. If y'all are feeling me so far, be sure to like this video. Be sure to comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Grants. So I mentioned this so many times earlier in the video, so it's time for me to finally actually define it. You know, grants are essentially free money. I repeat, free money. This is essentially, here's some money, let me fund your education. Free money that you don't have to pay back. Keep that part in mind when we later get to loans, okay? Free money that you don't have to pay back. Grants are based on your FAFSA, which we just defined right now, based on how much money you need, but it's not always. And of course, grants show up in your aid package, which we defined earlier. See, this is why you don't skip around. And you can get grants from the federal government, the state government, from organizations, from universities. You can get grants from a lot of places. The most popular grant is the Pell Grant, but that's not the only one. Do not limit yourself. All right, number 23, HBCUs. HBCU stands for Historically Black College or University. These are schools that are designed because way back then, we were not accepted anywhere else. So these are schools designed for Black students to come to thrive, to get education, because nobody else wanted us. So you guys know that I go to Howard. Howard is an HBCU. It is one of the biggest ones. And I recommend that every Black student at least tries to come to an HBCU, because being surrounded by Black, like-minded individuals, students who want to become great in life, there is no better feeling. So if possible, please go to an HBCU. The experience is out of this world. Number 24, letter of recommendation. Now, this is essentially a letter that a coach, a loved one, your employer, your guidance counselor, a teacher makes and writes about you to the college you're trying to go to. It's essentially a piece of paper of someone gassing you up, being like, oh, pieces like this, she's an amazing student, she does this, president of this, she does this. Yeah, that is really what you want, because that can really make you stand out. I recommend that you give them your resume so they know what you've done, so they can infuse that as they're gassing you up. Oh, Pete is great in my class, but she also does this. She's also senior class president. She does this. She does that. So be sure to ask with someone who knows you well or know you for a long time. It's best if it's both. So they either know you well or they know you for a long time, or both. And please do this, because I went to a teacher. I remember this guy because he was a doctor of physics, and I'm thinking, OMG, doctor of physics, this looks nice, especially because I was a STEM major. It looks good. A doctor, and a doctor of a hard subject. OMG, wow. But homeboy did not really know me like that, and I knew that. but I still asked him anyways. And his letter was his letter was disgusting. I don't want to say that, but that letter could have been better. I got 3 lines, 2 sentences each, maybe 3 sentences each. Yeah, it was not a cute letter. I recommend you ask someone who knows you well. You can ask them through Naviance, so I'll later define in a second. You can also ask in person. I did both. Be like, oh, I asked through Naviance. I just want to make sure that you got it. Because sometimes some teachers don't look at their Naviance, which doesn't make any sense. Number 25, we are halfway done. Loans. Loans. Remember how I said grants were money that you get to go to college and you don't have to pay back? Well, loans are money that you also get to go to college, but you kind of sort of have to pay them back. Yeah, it's a loan. It's like a borrow. They'll borrow you something. So for example, let's say I had a friend that really liked this shirt of mine. I'm like, oh, sure, I can borrow it to you, but they have to give it back to me at the end of the night. It's the same thing. The government will give you money to go to college, but you have to give it back to them after you graduate. I recommend do not get loans. Try to get scholarships and grants because loans have interest. So it's really the opposite of a grant. There are 2 kinds of loans, okay? Subsidized and unsubsidized loans. So subsidized loans, they do not have interest. I repeat, until after you graduate. So the interest rate is 0 until after you graduate. So literally, I think 6 months after you graduate, Uncle Sam is going to come knocking on your door to tell you to start paying off your loans. Unsubsidized loans do have interest the second you take them out. I repeat, they have interest. So literally in the 4 years that you're in school, the interest it'll be going. You're literally getting, $14 here, this and this. It's acquired interest. But now because of COVID and everything that we're going through, interest rates are either really low or they are 0. So, you guys have a leeway here. But interest, be on the lookout for that, okay? Subsidized versus unsubsidized. Y'all be sure to read the fine print, okay? Here is a side-by-side comparison. You can screenshot this if you want to, but I'm going to change the screen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 26, match schools. So now we are now in M's. You also want to see safety schools and reach school definitions later on. So match schools. So there are schools that could possibly admit you. Your statistics fall in the range of their average acceptance rates, their average range. Let's say GPA is like 3.4 and OMG, their GPA average is 3.4. Most likely gonna get in. This is their average, this is yours. It's right here. So be sure to apply to at least 3 to 4 match schools because you're most likely gonna get in. Most of the schools that you apply to should be match schools, okay? That they're in your range. Next one, merit. Merit is also worthiness. Basically what you've done to show why you should win this scholarship, this money, this. Why are you worth it? Most times it comes in play with financial aid. So it's financial aid rewarded based on what you've done, based on your academic achievements, based on your athletic achievements, based on your extracurricular achievements and stuff like that. So merit includes your statistics, which I'm going to later define, like GPA, SAT, ACT scores, extracurriculars, and so much more. Merit. Number 28, the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. This is a long one, okay? This is also abbreviated as PSAT NMSQT. Anytime I saw this, I felt highs breaking out of me. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is this? What is this big old long term for no reason? What is the PSAT NMSQT? No. So let me explain it in a way that is less complicated than the actual name of the thing. It's essentially a PSAT test, hence the PSAT part, and it gives you a chance to enter the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. So it's essentially the scholarship of people that do really well on their PSATs their junior year. That's it. Oh, that big old PSAT and NMSQT. It's a scholarship given to people who do well on their PSAT. That's it right there. So for example, let's say the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. They're like, OMG, this kid is doing really well on their PSAT. And this is the fake one. This is not really the real SATs. They're doing amazing. Let's give them some money to encourage them to do even better on the SATs. So there's probably more to it. That's a brief overview because I was not fortunate enough to get it. So I don't know too much about it. But brief overview. So this test measures your critical reading skills, math problem solving skills, and your writing skills. Number 29, Naviance. We talked about this when we're talking about the letters of recommendations and how you can ask for them through Naviance. Well, let me actually define what Naviance is, okay? So basically, Naviance is a website that provides you with scholarship and college information. My high school made every student use it. They literally had time slots dedicated to making you make an account to learn how to use it. I don't know if that's the case for every high school, but my high school did that. They also have a unique login information for you. And like you can use this Naviance to request transcripts and letters of recommendation. Number 30, the NCAA Eligibility Center. If you're an athlete and you want to play a sport in college, you need to do this. Any high school student that wants to participate in a D1 or D2 school, they have to fill out this form. They have to register with the NCAA their senior year. And basically the NCAA Eligibility Center is certifies that you as a student are allowed and you're qualified to actually play that sport at that school. It certifies that you can compete and receive academic scholarships and financial aid. Essentially, if you're not certified by the NCAA, you can't play college sports. That's it. Next one, 31, private schools/universities. Be sure to see the definition for public schools as well. So private schools are different than public schools. Private schools are funded by endowment, by tuition, by donors, by alum, stuff like that. And because they don't get outside funding like public schools, which I'll really define in a second, because they don't get outside funding, these things I just listed right now are really how they function. That's also the reason why private schools are more expensive, which is exactly why cost of attendance at Howard is $48K, because they don't have outside funding. $48K compared to other in-state schools like $20K, $15K, $30K. But because they're more expensive, more times than not, private schools are more likely to offer tuition or scholarship benefits or something like that to help you pay for it. Private schools are also more smaller because it's more expensive. Not everyone can actually afford to go there. And because it's smaller, which can be a pro and a con, you get a smaller class size, which is more close-knit. It's more family-based. Like Howard students, there's not a lot of classes that have a lot of people. Like, a lot of classes at Howard are like 40 students, 50, 30, sometimes 20. For the general classes, of course, they're gonna be like hundreds, but there's not a lot of bigger classes at Howard. But sometimes private schools have the prestige, okay? The P in private, the PR, it's prestige, okay? Just think about it. You're going to a school that everyone can afford. It's expensive. You're a bougie queen, a bougie king. Let's talk about it. Number 32, the PSAT. Yes, the PSAT, not the PSAT. If you say that, we're going to have a problem, okay? It is the PSAT. So the PSAT stands for the Preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Test. Essentially, all that big words to say it is the practice SAT, okay? It's essentially a shorter version of the SAT. It's taken your freshman, sophomore, and junior fall semester of high school. The results determine if you're qualified for the, the PSAT NMSQT program that we just defined a second ago. The results also determine if you're qualified for the National Achievement Scholarship Program for Outstanding Negro Students, as well as the National Hispanic Recognition Program. Essentially, all this to say that the PSAT is a practice SAT, and if you do well on it, you can get certain benefits. You can get certain scholarships, certain things like that. Next one, public schools versus universities. Be sure to also see the private school definition as well. Public schools are funded by the state, which means tuition can be lower because it's not the students paying for it, it's the state. Because the entrance fee, the tuition is not as steep, they tend to be bigger because anyone can get in. So be prepared for big classes, okay? Like hundreds. Okay? Y'all be careful out there. Because they're bigger, it also offers more majors, minors, concentrations, and stuff like that. Number 34, Questbridge. If y'all are feeling me so far, be sure to like this video. Be sure to comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now, I don't know too much about this because I didn't do it, but Questbridge is a non-profit and their goal is to help low-income and first-generation students enter into college and university. Sometimes it's for underrepresented backgrounds, for like Black students, Hispanic students, people of color, stuff like that. Most times it's a full ride. Not always, but most times it is. So there's 7 other scholarships that are like Questbridge that you can apply for, that you can get basically almost the same perks. Because y'all know I got y'all, okay? So try for the Questbridge, but also try for the other 7 ones that I'm about to list, because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So the 7 scholarships to try out for, like the Questbridge, are the Dell Scholars Program, the Gates Millennium Scholarship, the Greenhouse Scholars Scholarship, the Horatio Alger National Scholarship, the Ron Brown Scholarship, the MLK Scholarship, and the Scholarship America Dream Awards. Wow, what a mouthful. But try for those scholarships. I will drop a link down below for schools that actually offer and accept Questbridge. I don't think Howard does. I'm sorry to inform y'all, but try it out. Number 35, reach schools. You also want to see the definitions for match schools and safety schools, okay? So reach schools are schools that like your stats are below their average. So let's say this is the school you want to go to. This is their stats. These are yours. They're a little bit below. So you're trying to reach. It's a reach. It's a long shot. Can I make it? Will I get in? Will I not? It's a reach, okay? Hence the name. It's a reach school. So your stats are good, maybe not as great. Most times Ivies are reach schools. That's not always the case. So acceptance rates are really, really, really low. Try out for maybe 2 or 3 reach schools. Please do not make your entire scholarship list be reach schools, because if you reach but you didn't reach high enough and you don't get in, where you gonna go, sis? Where you gonna go, bro? Them, they, where? Make it make sense. Number 36. Regular decision. Be sure to also see early action, early decision, as well as rolling admissions to see the difference. All right, regular decision. What exactly is this, and what are some pros and cons? So the application deadline is mid-January. Colleges send their acceptance letters around mid-March. And from March to April, you really are trying to decide which school do I go to. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro, because the application is not due till like January, you have more time to complete your application, which means you have more time to apply for more schools, which also means because you have more time, you can actually retake some tests that we mentioned early on, do better in it to give you a higher chance of actually getting accepted. I tried to do regular decision schools. I did, but after early action and stuff, the girl was tired. So keep that in mind, because it's a while away, okay? That actually leads to my cons. Because you have more time to apply, application and you apply actually seeps into the time for school, for scholarships, for jobs, for stuff like that. So it can be a lot to juggle, which is exactly what happened to me. Another con, because you have more time to actually apply, you don't have as much time to decide which school you want to go to. Like you hear back in March, you only have from like March to May 1st to decide. Of course, you can decide afterwards, but most schools want you to decide May 1st. So keep that in mind, okay? Number 37, we are reaching the final stretch, okay? Rescind. Rescind means to revoke, to take back. So let's use it in terms of college applications. I talked about this earlier on, but let's say you applied early action, early decision, right? And you got into your dream school. Woo, 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 woo. Great. But you're like, OMG, I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. I've been working for so long. Let me relax a little bit. Let me take my feet off the pedal, right? Off the gas pedal. Let me relax. No. You relax, taking your feet off the pedal, and now you are careening off the side of the road and off a cliff. Now, what does this mean, Peace? This means that you are relaxing too much, that your grades are dropping like flies. So even though you were accepted to that school, colleges can still rescind your offer. They're like, oh, I accepted Bailey, a straight A student. She's doing this, she's doing this. Why am I hearing back that she now has D's? She is failing her classes. She's getting into fights. This is not the student we accepted. Let me take that back. Let me take back the acceptance letter. Get somebody else who is still deserving of it. Yeah, that's possible. So you really can't slack off. I have a whole video about things to do your senior year of high school. Check it out. I'll try to link it up here. If I don't, just search it up, I guess. So the 3 reasons that they rescind offers are 1, academic decline, 2, unacceptable behavior, 3, false information on your application. If they get wind that you lied about something, snatchies. You don't want that. So when you get accepted to your dream school, do not slack off, because colleges can still take their offer back. Just in case y'all don't know, you can still get rejected after being accepted. Number 38, resume. Yes, it is resume, not resume. I know the English language is difficult. So resume is essentially one sheet of paper that shows your college and later employer, your academic skills, your achievements, your extracurriculars, basically who you are and what you've been doing this past 4 years. It's essentially a piece of paper for you to brag about all you've been doing, and that piece of paper is accepted. It's not seen as bragging, it's seen as documenting all that you've done. You get a free pass to brag. Be sure to load that resume up. Okay? Nothing is too small as long as you make it sound good. You were a dishwasher or something? It's the same like dishwasher. Be like, oh, I was associate of cleanliness or something like that. Make it sound nice. Nothing is too small. So what can you include in your resume, you may ask? Great question. You have to include your jobs, sports, positions you've held, clubs that you're just a member in, service volunteering, tutoring kids at elementary or middle school, library reading, volunteering, achievements, like, you know, if you win any, OMG, Peace did this, OMG, you did that, you were on the news or something, you participated in research or something like that. Write it all down in your resume because it makes you stand out. And this can be stuff in and out of school. It's like, OMG, she has a great GPA and she's doing all of this. She's this, she's this, she's this, she's this. Wow, what a well-rounded student. Let me accept her. And that's what you want. Number 39, rolling admissions. Be sure to also look at early action, early decision, as well as regular decision to see the difference. All right, rolling admissions. Now this is different from the other three I just listed right now. Why? Because for the other one I just listed, there's a deadline you have to have it in by, and results go out for every single person at the same time in that section. Early action decisions get their letters at the same time. Early decision, same time. Regular decision, same time. But for rolling admissions, it's not the case, because literally as soon as they get your application, they look through it and they get back to you ASAP. I repeat for the people in the back. As soon as you apply and they look through your application, they decide yes or no or deferral or whatever, they get back to you immediately. There is no one date, one size fits all. You get back your results ASAP. No more waiting till December 15th, till January, till March. You hear back ASAP. You still have till May 1st to decide. If you're doing rolling admissions, be sure to turn it in ASAP. Like, some pep in your step. So some pros. So the technical deadline for rolling admissions is January for the most part. You have plenty of time to apply. Also, another pro is that you get your response quick. A con. Let's talk about the cons now. I heard that if you turn in your application later, it can actually harm you. Which is why I said, if you're doing rolling admissions, if your school is doing rolling admissions, be sure you turn it in ASAP. Don't set yourself up for failure. Number 40, safety school. Be sure to also see reach school and match school. So for a safety school, it's essentially like this, okay? This is your like stats. This is your average. And their average is right here. As you guys can see, your stats are above the school's average. So you are more than likely gonna get in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't get in, that'll be a huge shock, a huge surprise. Like, safety schools are schools that you know for sure you're gonna get in. I'm not gonna lie, my stats were so good. I knew for sure a lot of my schools were safety schools, maybe match schools. Like, I knew I was gonna get in because I was that girl. I was. Not to like be cocky or anything, but like, you know, my stats were there. If you're interested in my stats, be sure to check out my how I got into every school I applied to video. But yeah, so try out for 2 or 3 safeties just to be sure. So if you hear safeties, match school, read school, now you know what they mean, thanks to your girl P. So be sure to share this video with a friend so they know, so they're not confused as well. Number 41, SAT reasoning test. This is also called the normal SAT, just SAT, but the full name with the full title is SAT reasoning test. SAT stands for Scholastic Aptitude Test. So it is based on a 1600 scale. It was once 2400, but it's now 1600. Another standardized test like the ACT that measures, there are actually 4 sections: reading comprehension, writing/grammar, math with calculator, and math without calculator. 4 sections that the SAT is based on. So most colleges require either this or ACT. I know with COVID, things are probably a little bit different. I know that last year it was like test optional, so you don't have to even turn in a test, you don't have to even take a test, but I'm sure that things are going back to normal. They'll probably start requiring tests again. I'm not sure. Y'all check it out. Number 42, SAT subject test. Now remember, the last one was SAT reasoning test. This is SAT subject. What's the difference, you may ask? Great question, my young pupil. So instead of the SAT reasoning test to test you on like 4 different things, SAT subject test tests you on one specific subject. So not all schools require this. Most times it's really competitive schools that require you to take this additional step. So the schools that I applied to didn't require it. A lot of people think Howard is competitive, and it is, but Howard did not require it, so but yeah, scored on an 800 scale. Remember, the reasoning test, the normal SAT, is scored on a 1600. Number 43, scholarships. Scholarships. I promise, literally, as soon as applications for college go in, y'all are gonna start looking for scholarship and advice. And y'all are so lucky, because a few months ago, I made a whole video, go to college for free, the ultimate scholarship guide. Y'all be sure to check that video out, because I will break down every single thing there is to know about scholarship. The same way that I'm breaking down this video, I'm gonna break down the other one as well. So check it out. Essentially, scholarships are free money for college, and you don't have to pay it back. It is not a loan like we defined already. It is a scholarship. But be careful though, because sometimes scholarships come to you, which of course you can use it for school like it's intended to, but sometimes you want to go out, have brunch with your friends and do something, and that scholarship just came in. So be sure to look for the scholarships that come for you. But also, some scholarships actually go to your school. So if you plan to use the 1,000 scholarship for brunch with the girls or party or whatever, and it goes to your school instead, you're out of luck. So read the fine print, y'all. You got to read the fine print. There's also renewable versus non-renewable scholarship. This is also important because people do not pay attention to them and they get screwed up. Renewable scholarship means it renews every year. You can get the scholarship for sometimes up to 4 years. Non-renewable means it does not renew. Means you only get the scholarship for 1 year. Let's say you got a 10K scholarship. You're like, OMG, yes. And you think it's a renewable scholarship that you get it every single year, and you only get it for 1 year. For the other 3 years, you have to go to find something else to do. You have to go find another scholarship. You have to go take out a loan or something. So be sure to read the fine print, because the amount of people that I've seen got tripped up because of that, don't do it. We are 3 terms away from finishing this thing. Let's go. Number 44. You probably hear the word stats. Stats. What are your stats? What are your stats? But yes, stats are short for statistics. So essentially, stats are the information that you're providing to schools to convince them to accept you. Stats include, but are not limited to, your SAT, ACT scores, your GPA, your class rank, your transcript, and all the competitive classes that you've taken that are on there, the roles and position that you've taken, that you've had, your achievements, and so much more. Essentially, your stats are essentially your entire application. It's you bragging to colleges about why you should be a part of their school. Stats are what you've been doing this past 4 years and why they should accept you. Number 45, transcript. You've probably also heard this as well. The transcript is a record of every single class that you've taken in high school. Also, community college classes, if you do that as well, it's also on your transcript to show colleges that you're applying to what you're about, to show that you're a competitive student. Your transcript has the class that you've taken, but also the difficulty. So, for example, let's say you take world history. It can have world history, also have honors, standard, or AP world history. Your transcript also includes your class rank, the community service hours that you've done. I think it has attendance, but I'm not entirely sure. It has a lot of information that colleges probably look at that I'm not sure of, but definitely make sure your transcript is up to date. You're gonna need a lot of those. Check out my scholarship video, y'all. I talked all about them. Number 46, waitlist. So this is the last one to round up the whole accepted, deferred, and denied section. Waitlist. So when you're on the waitlist, that means that they like you, they just don't have enough spots for you. I know, it's sad. They're like, this is really good, I like your application, but like, you're not competitive enough for them to automatically say accepted, but you're not bad for them to just reject you outright. I hope that makes sense. So essentially, you're gonna be on a list that you wait on, and you're hoping that you can get off the list, that you can actually be accepted. So the only way for you to get off the list is like if people who are accepted decide that they no longer want to go to that school. Well, a spot just opened up for you based on your position on the list. Okay? And there's a possibility that you can move forward and move off the list. But keep in mind, since you get the results that you're waitlisted in March. To figure out if you got in, you would have to wait till after May 1st when other people who got accepted decide whether or not they want to go to that school. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, please comment down below. So for example, you were waitlisted, you're trying to see, okay, do I get off this waitlist or not? So let's say you're trying to go to Howard, you won the waitlist for Howard. You have to wait till May 1st when everyone decides, oh, I'm going to Howard, oh, I'm not going to Howard, oh, this, oh, that, to see whether or not a spot available for you to actually get on. So because you don't find out till after May 1st, you most likely would have to accept another school's offer in the meanwhile. I hope that makes sense. Like, essentially, you have to commit to another school while holding out hope that the school that you really want to go to, there's a spot that opens up for you. I think that makes sense. You guys let me know. Number 47, work study. Work study is a program that provides on-campus, part-time for the most part, jobs for undergrads and grad students with financial need. Most times it's a desk job, but that's not always the case. They choose whether or not they want to put it on your FAFSA. So it shows up on your FAFSA and then you apply for it. I'm not entirely sure about the whole process. If you know it, please drop it down below. But I plan to do it in the future. So when I do know about it, if I do learn about it, I will make a whole video about it. But until then, they provide on-campus part-time jobs for you to make some money to possibly pay for college or get a little pocket money on the side. Okay? If you made it this far, you are a real one. And I want everyone else to know that you're a real one too. So be sure to comment #easypeasy with the lemon emoji, because I just made this entire process, this entire college application season, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay? But yes, y'all, that was such a long video. I know right now filming it is already over an hour and a half, so I don't know how long it's gonna be the final results. If you appreciated this video, if you really like this video, please like this video. It does wonders. Like, it's the way the algorithm is, y'all. Like this video, comment if this video is helpful. I beg of you, please. Share this with a friend, do all that good stuff. Your girl's throat is sore, so I got to go. Baby, want more videos like this from me? I have a common app mistakes to avoid and more videos about the college application season coming out soon. So if you want to be a part of that, be sure to subscribe and join the fam. And until next time, peace out.